Purposeful Nudge introduces Bridging the AI Execution Gap based on the framework in Field Services Rewired. How do you remove technician frustration? For many organizations face the challenge of getting the return from their investment in technology like AI. How do you make it work?
Every year, corporate boardrooms pour millions into field service AI. Yet at the exact point of execution, frontline adoption collapses. The root of this failure is work as imagined, a clean, linear, fully compliant workflow drafted in conference rooms, built for ideal conditions. But step onto the factory floor and you encounter work as done. Field execution is noisy, chaotic, and defined by constant interruptions. When management deploys software built for that clean whiteboard theory into this messy physical environment, the system fractures. The technology itself isn't broken. Algorithms designed for a perfect world simply cannot survive the friction of the real one. To understand why, you have to look closely at the moment of work. This is that high-stakes fraction of a second where a technician must make a critical decision under severe time pressure, often in hostile environments. When a worker is already balancing a physical repair and a demanding client, their mental load is maxed out. If an AI tool requires them to navigate 12 menus or type out complex symptoms, cognitive fatigue sets in. Faced with that burden, humans do what they are wired to do. They protect their performance. They bypass the official system, rely on intuitive muscle memory, or just text a senior engineer for the answer. Fixing this requires a hard pivot. Instead of demanding compliance to heavy, broken systems, organizations must adopt a 5-phase behavioral model. Rescuing the front line from process debt means treating AI adoption as a behavioral engineering challenge rather than a software deployment. Phase 1 starts with a ground truth diagnostic. Before writing a single line of code, we map the undocumented shadow workflows, the real workarounds and WhatsApp groups that technicians actually use to survive their shifts. Phase 2 is the process debt purge. We follow a strict rule. You cannot automate what you have not first simplified. We physically eliminate cognitive fatigue by stripping away the legacy procedures, redundant managerial approvals, and useless compliance checkboxes that bloat the system. If you automate a bad process, you don't get efficiency. Poor escalation logic simply becomes faster misinformation. Bad knowledge becomes faster confusion. You must relentlessly cut the workflow down to the essential standard of care. Without that extreme simplification, AI will only amplify existing operational friction. Once the debt is cleared, Phase 3 designs for that critical moment of work. We shift the system from query-based labor, where the technician has to search for answers, to push-based verification, where the AI proactively provides the most likely solution. We enforce the 2-minute rule. Any interaction with the AI, whether it's logging data or running a diagnostic, must be completable in under 120 seconds, using minimal physical input. We rely on the golden default. The system anticipates the environment, using GPS geofencing to log in arrival time, for example, so the human only needs to verify reality, not initiate it. The goal here is strict allocation of effort. The software absorbs the cognitive friction, freeing the technician's brain to focus entirely on the physical execution of the repair. Phase 4 focuses on the psychology of adoption by engineering the trust loop. Trust in a new system cannot be mandated from the top down. It is built through reliable, repeated, and positive outcomes on the ground. We achieve this through behavioral nudging. We guide the technician's decisions gently, maintaining their professional autonomy while subtly prompting the best course of action. We use choice architecture to clean up visual salience. By muting digital noise and hiding secondary options, the correct operational choice becomes the easiest, most obvious path to take. We also layer in social proof. When a technician hesitates, the system presents the invisible collective intelligence of the entire fleet, showing them how top performers resolved the exact same issue. When choice architecture consistently guides a worker to a faster, safer fix, it cements a permanent psychological contract. They trust the tool because it proves its worth. Finally, in Phase 5, intelligent operations take over. Because the friction is gone and trust is established, AI can truly scale. It graduates from being a clunky destination app that a worker has to actively open. Instead, it becomes invisible, ambient infrastructure, embedded directly into the physical job. This triggers the neuroscience of closure. The system provides immediate, concrete feedback that the fix was successful and severe downtime was prevented. That operational dopamine hit closes the loop. It turns a routine maintenance task into a psychological victory, hardwiring the habit and guaranteeing future adoption. When you align the software with human behavior, the multi-million-dollar execution gap collapses. High-performing service organizations recognize a clear truth. You never force your people to work for the technology. You engineer the technology to work seamlessly for your people. Clean the path, nudge the behavior, scale the value.
For more insights, subscribe to Purposeful Nudge and start rewiring your field services organization today.